Namaste for all. Now I am going to do my presentation on prenatal diagnostic methods. This is the last topic of Unit 2, session number 20. Prenatal diagnostic methods in the sense before the mother giving a birth to a baby, they are identifying the disorders or defects in the unborn baby through different methods. There are 6 methods are there.
Objectives of my this learning is to explain the different diagnostic pre-diagnostic method. I want to explain the students about the different pre-diagnostic. There are totally 6 pre-diagnostic methods are there, and to understand them, to make them to understand about the advantages as well as the disadvantages of each methods of pre-diagnostic methods. About the advantages, once they comes to know the advantages and disadvantages of the pre-diagnostic method, they will select which is best suited for them. Then the main outcomes of this my session is my students attend the sessions, they can able to understand the pre-diagnostic method. Yes, now they can enable to understand the enable, which session will make them to able to understand the pre-diagnostic. All 6 methods they will understand, and they will not only understanding but also they will demonstrate, they have enough capacity to demonstrate the knowledge about prenatal diagnostic choices and methods. Prenatal diagnostic methods, what all the methods are there, what all the choices are there, how to make the choices by knowing the advantages and disadvantages of each methods, then to help oneself as well as the others. After knowing these advantages and disadvantages, they can help oneself in the family as well as oneself, and they can spread the knowledge to the society also about the different methods. Once before the baby taken into an external world itself, the baby when it is there in the internal in inner or inside the mother's womb, they can identify the defects in the baby. When the baby before coming into an external world, they can identify through which are all the methods they can identify. So contents of this presentation, I have included, see the meaning of a pre-diagnostic method, then the different methods, what are all the methods, there are totally 6 methods are there. Amniocentesis, chorionic villus sampling, fetoscopy, then ultrasound, ಮೆಟರ್ನಲ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ದೆನ್ ಪ್ರೀ ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಸ್, ಆಮ್ನಿಯೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ವರ್ಡ್, ಅದೇ ಪದ ಇರೋದು. ಕೊರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೊರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾದರಿ. ಫೀಟೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿ, ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸೌಂಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸೌಂಡಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತಲೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಥವಾ ವಿಪರೀತ ಶಬ್ದದ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಮೆಟರ್ನಲ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಭ್ರೂಣದಿಂದ ತೆಗೆಯುವಂಥ ರಕ್ತ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಅಥವಾ ರಕ್ತ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂತ. ಪ್ರೀ ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗುಣಾಣುವಿನ ಗುರುತಿಸುವಿಕೆ. ದೆನ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೆಫರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಕವರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್. ದೆನ್ MCQs, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ which will help for your exams for the especially match the following or fill in the blanks. This will be helpful for this. I didn't mention the answers over here, but you have to find out the answers once the session is over. First one is the introduction. See first the introduction and the meaning of this. If couples who might bear, who might have maybe there may be a chances there, they may gives birth for an abnormal kind of baby, they decide to conceive several prenatal diagnostic methods. If a couples want to know that there may be a chances that they may give a birth to a normal or abnormal baby, if there is a like if they have any fear of they may give a chances, if there is a fear or there may be any chances of they may give a birth to an abnormal child, they decide to conceive, they decide to go through a prenatal diagnostic method. They want to know they want to check these abnormalities by different scientific methods, that is known as prenatal diagnostic methods. Its meaning, prenatal diagnostic methods in the sense before the mother gives birth to a baby itself, they are detecting the problem in the baby. They are whether the baby has any kinds of problem. It's a medical procedures. It is done by the medical practitioners itself. Medical procedures they are doing that permit detection of the problems before the birth. not to know about the sex of the child, but to detect the problems, whether the child has a problem, or not. Whether there is any kinds of abnormalities in the baby or not. They are just checking. Only the medical practitioners doing this detections. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಷನರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಗಾರರು ಅಥವಾ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಉಳ್ಳವರು, ಅವರು ಮಗುವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ, ಮಗು ಹುಟ್ಟುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲೇ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿ various prenatal diagnostic methods, there are so many are there, as I have mentioned in the contents itself. Amniocentesis, they are doing this test by using the amniotic fluid. Then chorionic villus sampling, chorionic villus sampling ಗೆ Coriolis villus madari ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Then fetoscopy, then ultrasound, maternal blood analysis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ರಕ್ತದ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ, then pre-implantation of genetic diagnosis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುಣಾಣುವಿನ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ. Then the first one is amniocentesis. This one is, see, this is the most widely used. Most of the parents are undergoing through this method. So a hollow needle is inserted through the abdominal wall to obtain a sample of fluid in the uterus. See, the hollow needle is inserted into abdominal wall of the mother. See, here they are inserting one needle that is inserted into the abdominal wall of the mother to obtain the sample of the fluid. They are taking the amniotic fluid from the uterus where the baby is placed. They are taking the amniotic fluid for sample to test whether there is the genetic defects are there in the baby or not. So they are taking just amniotic fluid. Amniotic ದ್ರವವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಸೂಜಿಯ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿರಿಂಜ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಅವರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ amniotic ದ್ರವವನ್ನು ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ. Cells are examined for genetic defects, examine for genetic defects, whether the baby carries the genetic defects of its parents or grandparents or not. To identify that, this test has been done. So this is performed by the 14th after conception. This test is performed by the 14th week. 14th week, I have to mention that, I'm sorry, 14th week after conception. 14th week in the sense, see, for 1 month, 4 weeks also. 4 weeks is there. 4 into 4 is 16. So in the middle of 4th month, they are doing this test. So after conception, soon after the conception, they can't able to do. Only after the conception, only after 14th week after conception, they can able to do this test. So then 1 to 2 weeks, see here, they will not get the results soon after the test. They have to wait for the results. 1 to 2 weeks are required for the test results. 1 to 2 weeks, in the sense 7 to 14 days they have to wait. And there is a small risk of miscarriages. There may be a small risk of miscarriages also may happen. They will lost a child also happens. So already I have mentioned each method contains advantages as well as disadvantages. So here is the chances of miscarriages. ಸೊ ಗರ್ಭಪಾತವಾಗುವಂಥ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಯೂ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶ ಅವರಿಗೆ 1 ಅಥವಾ 2ನೇ ವಾರದ ನಂತರವೇ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ 1 to 2 weeks. ದೆನ್ ಕೊರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್. ಕೊರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಕೊರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ವಿಲ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾದರಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇಫ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್ very early in the pregnancy itself, very early in stage itself. This test can be done. See, this procedure can be used if results are desired very early in pregnancy. If the results are desired, this test can be done. So here the thin tube, in spite of the this one syringe they are using here, they are thin tube, very thin tube inserted into the uterus. They are inserting, that are putting inside into the uterus through the vagina. Vagina is the backside of it. It comes from the backside, the vagina is the part of where the menstruation takes place. During that, bleeding happens. That part is called as vagina. So this is there is a two holes. One hole, in the one hole we are passing the urine. In the another hole, the bleeding happens during the menstruations. For that part, that they are putting the one tin tube. Through this they are taking the samples, and the abdominal walls also they are putting a thin tube. This is a hair-like projections on the membrane surrounding the developing organism. This also attaches to the hair-like projections on the membrane. Hair-like protections on the membrane covers, which covers the developing organisms, covers hair-like structure which covers the developing organisms from the dangerous things, which also attaches to that one. So performed by this test, see, chorionic villus sampling, this test is performed by the 9th week after conception. See, in the first test, amniocentesis I have mentioned, at the end of the 14th or 16th month, 16th week they are testing. At the beginning of the fourth month they are doing this test. But in here they can do this test early in the pregnancy itself, in the sense 9th week after conception. 9th week in the sense at the beginning of the 3rd month itself they can do. After conception, once the conception is over, at the beginning of the 3rd month they can do, and results will also available within 24 months. It's results also very easily they will get, very soon they will get within 1 day or 24 hours. Then here I have added one figure. This is I have taken from the book Laura Burks. So amniocentesis and the chorionic villus sampling both are shown here. See, in the amniocentesis they have inserted one syringe or one needle, see, to the abdominal wall of the baby. They are inserted. So here this is the uterine wall, uterus. This is uterus. From the uterus they are taking the amniocentesis fluid. They are taking the to samples to identify the genetic defects. Here see, the baby is seated in the mother's uterus. Then the placenta is nothing but a mother's intestine that connects the baby's umbilical cord. So this covers which nourishes the baby. So they are taking the samples of amniotic fluid. So here is the amniotic fluid which covers which is there in the uterus. So ultrasound scanner also here they use. So today hundreds of defects or diseases can be detected before the birth by using these two measures. Most of the parents uses these two measures, especially amniocentesis in the sense a hollow needle is inserted through the abdominal wall into the uterus. See, through the abdominal wall to the uterus. Here is a small syringe they have shown to the uterus. Then during the 14th week after conceptions, 14th week in the sense, see, for 1 month there is 4 weeks are there. 14th week in the sense of 4, 16th. So at the beginning of the 4th month, they are using this test, or later, they can use. A fluid is withdrawn and fetal cells are cultured. They will culture this test. So because of this culture test, this method will take 1 to 2 weeks, because they are doing a culture test. Culture the fetal cells. For that clear picture, for that clear identification, it takes 1 to 2 weeks for the results. Then the chorionic villus sampling. See, here they have inserted one thin tube into the vagina. Through the vagina they are inserted to the uterus. So sampling performed much earlier in pregnancy here at the 9th weeks itself. 9th weeks in the sense at the at the end of a second month, or at the beginning of at the end of the second month itself, they can do after the conception. Once the conception is over, at the end of the second month they can do, or at the beginning of the third month. And the test results are available within 24 hours. Within one day they will get the test results. Two approaches they can identify the defects here. Two approaches to obtaining a sample of chorionic villus are shown. See, inserting a thin tube. They inserted the thin tube as well as a syringe over here, as well as the ultrasound scanner also used through the vagina into a uterus, inserting through the needle, inserted needle through the abdominal wall. In both amniocentesis and chorionic villus sampling, an ultrasound scanner is used for guidance. Why? Because of the ultrasound scanner, that picture will comes to the screen. Through this, this will help for the medical practitioners to see the position and see the baby's movements exactly. So, because of that, ultrasound scanners they are using. So the next one is a fetoscopy. Fetoscopy antane ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Then a small tube with the light. See, here also they are using a small tube, but with the light also they are using. At the end of the tube, tip of the tube, there is a light source is there, inserted into the uterus. That is also inserted into the uterus to inspect, to detect, or to find out the defects, whether there is a defects in the limbs in the sense the parts of the body, upper limb and the lower limb, or in the face, whether there is a defects in the limbs, body parts, or in the face, outside body parts, or in the face in the sense in the whether the baby has defects in the nose, eyes, ears, or lips, or lips. In these parts, whether the baby has any problems. Limbs in the sense whether the baby has a problems in the external body parts, in the sense the hand or legs or the stomach, in these parts, in shoulder, in these parts, whether the baby has any kinds of problem. To detect this, they are putting a small tube with the light source, they are inserting into the uterus. Through the blood, it diagnoses the disorders as hemophilia and sickle cell anemia. Through the blood, here they are taking the blood samples of the mother also to diagnose it. It identifies the disorders of the unborn baby, as whether the baby has hemophilia in the sense whether the baby has a clot over in the brain or any part of the body, and sickle cell anemia in the sense whether the baby has a lack of red blood cells, lack of red blood cells, which is the most important part, which is whether the baby has a problem of hemoglobin content, whether the baby has a lack of hemoglobin content, anemia. And this test is performed between 15 and 18 weeks after 5 months, or after 4 months, they can do this test, and 18 weeks after 6 months also, after 4 to 5 months they can do this test. After 4 to 5 months they can do this test. After conception they can be done as early as 5 weeks. 5 weeks, within 5 weeks they have to do. Between this, not only between 15 to 18, 15 to 20 weeks also they can take, but they have to do as early as possible. So the next one is ultrasound. As we know already, even not only the pregnant lady undergone this ultrasound therapy, but also the normally those who have a menstruation problems or a bladder problem also, they are also undergone for this ultrasound therapy, ultrasound method. Why? Because to find out whether their bladder is normal, or whether do they have any kinds of problems in their stomach, to identify that one. High frequency sound waves are beamed at the uterus. See, while doing this, high frequency sound, high loaded sound waves are beamed on the uterus or the abdominal wall of the mother. So if the mother will undergone for this therapy or this method again and again, frequently she will go for this method, this will the problem may occurs for the baby. Why? Because the abnormality may happens for the baby because of this ultrasound, because of this heavy sounds, the abnormality may happens for the baby. So this is sometimes this is useful, and there is a dangerous also happens if the mother undergone for this therapy again and again. So high frequency sound waves ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಂತಹ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಶಬ್ದದ ಅಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡಲಾಗ್ತದೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಾಯಿ ಗರ್ಭದ ಮೇಲೆ, ತಾಯಿಯ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ. Their reflections is translated. See, their sound reflections is translated into, ಈ ಶಬ್ದ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಚಿತ್ರವಾಗಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ದೃಶ್ಯವಾಗಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ here translated into a picture in a video screen that reveals the size, shape of the fetus. That reveals not only the size, shape of the fetus also we can see. See, in that through this method, ultrasound method, in the babies, in the mother's uterus, they are using this instruments they are putting, and then I have shown in the already I have told in the this method. See, here in the ultrasound scanner, this one, they are rubbing throughout the abdominal wall, and sounds also made. So this then they are this sound is translated into a picture. Through this picture they will see the exact size of the baby and shape of the fetus also, shape in that in which position the baby is inside the uterus. So this assess the fetus age also. So this assess the fetus exact age and detection of multiply birth, whether the mother going to take gives a birth to a baby multiple or a twins baby happens, or twins baby, or the three baby, or any kinds of pregnancies. This detects any kinds of pregnancies. So this assess the fetus age, not only the fetus ages, this is the detection of the multiply pregnancy, whether the lady gives birth for the 2 babies or the 3 babies. ಸೊ ಇದು ಬರೇ ಭ್ರೂಣದ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಭ್ರೂಣದ ಗಾತ್ರ, ಭ್ರೂಣದ ಯಾವ ಶೇಪ್, ಯಾವ ಗಾತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದನ್ನು ನೋಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಭ್ರೂಣದ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಭ್ರೂಣ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ತಾಯಿ ಒಂದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಗು ಇದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ದ ಮದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 1 or 2 babies ಆಲ್ಸೋ, 1 or 2 or 3 babies ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಗು ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ it detects the sex of the baby also, but the doctor will not tell the because it is against the law. Doctor must not tell the sex of the baby. So here see, here the ultrasound scanning, this is I have shown this I have shown from this I have taken from one of my friends x-ray sheet. I have taken this. See, inside this womb, inside the womb, fetus is there, fetus is seated. So through this they can understand the movements of the baby also. They can identify the movements of the baby, shape of the baby, and size of the baby also. All the things they will come to know. And then maternal blood analysis. Maternal blood analysis is nothing but by the end of the 2nd month of pregnancy. By the end of 2nd month of pregnancy, in the sense at the beginning of the embryonic period, some of the developing organism cells enter the maternal bloodstream. Some of the developing organism cells, see, organism cells are some of the developing organisms, the unborn babies cells enter into the maternal bloodstream. So they are taking the maternal blood samples here. How the baby's conditions, whether the baby has any defects in the body parts or any defects in the central nervous system. So because of this, that is very easily to take the mother's blood. Through the mother's blood test itself, they come to know the problems of, they identify the problems of the newly born or unborn baby. Why? Because the newly organism cells already enlarged into the or connects the maternal bloodstream. So they can identify through the maternal blood test itself. An elevated level of alpha fetoprotein may indicate alpha fetoprotein. This is content taken from the women. This test indicates that this identifies the kidney diseases, whether the baby has a kidney disease ಅಂದರೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಮೂತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ರೋಗ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು 2 ತಿಂಗಳ ಗರ್ಭಿಣಿ ತಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ರಕ್ತವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆಯುವ ಮೂಲಕ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್, ಗರ್ಭದ ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಮಗು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಹೊಂದಿ ಅದರ ಕೋಶಗಳೆಲ್ಲವೂ ತಾಯಿಯ ರಕ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಟಿಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತದೆ, ರಕ್ತದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಜೊತೆಗಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ತಾಯಿಯ ರಕ್ತ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮಗುವಿನ ರೋಗವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಮೆಟರ್ನಲ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್. ಸೊ through the maternal blood itself we can identify and we can diagnose the disease of the baby. So kidney disease here identified, and whether the baby has a kidney disease or not, and the neural tube defects, whether the baby has any defects in the nerves, in the sense whether the baby has a central nervous system problem or the Down syndrome, in the sense 21 pairs of chromosomal problem, whether the baby has a 21st chromosomal problem or the mongoloid problem. It is a kind of mental retardation or chromosomal abnormalities. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೌನ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ 21ನೆಯ ವರ್ಣತಂತುವಿನ ವಿಕೃತಿ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೇನಾದರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಬರೀ ತಾಯಿಯ ರಕ್ತ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಮೆದುಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ, ಕೇಂದ್ರ ನರಮಂಡಲ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಪ್ರೀ ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗುಣಾಣುವಿನ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಟ್ರೋ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ pre-implantation genetic diagnostic. This is the final one. Genetic diagnostic by testifying by identifying in the genes itself, they are identifying whether there is abnormality or normality in the newborn babies. Pre-implantation in the sense after in vitro fertilization, in the sense they are combining the egg in the sense ovum and the sperm from the outside the body of the uterus, and duplication of the zygote also happens. Duplication in the sense the cell divisions, during the cell divisions the one chromosome divided into 2 and 2 into 4. So because of this duplications, after this into a cluster of about 8 cells. See, two chromosomes divided into 4, then the 4 into 8 cells. So in this, one cell is removed out from this zygote to test the hereditary defects, to identify and to examine the hereditary, whether it carries the hereditary defects or inherited defects are carried to the next coming baby. So one cell is removed out from this 8 cells. They are removing one cell and they are finding out and they are examining or they are testing hereditary defects, whether that newborn baby is carrying any genetic defects or not, whether that baby is normal or abnormal one. If that cell is free of detectable genetic disorder, if in case that cell is free of detectable problems, if there is any kinds of problem is not there in that cell, then again that is fertilized ovum implanted into, then that cell when it is taken into outer, then that whole fertilized ovum is implanted into woman's uterus. Once it is free from the genetic disorders, it is then implanted into women's uterus. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಲನ್ನು, ಒಂದು ಕೋಶವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಅನುವಂಶೀಯ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಇದೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇದು ಹೊರಗಿಂದನೇ ಇಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಪೋಷಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಓವಮನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಗಿಟ್ಟು ಪೋಷಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಿಟ್ಟು ಪೋಷಿಸಿದಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಲನ್ನು ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್, ಕೋಶ ವಿಭಜನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ if that cell is free from all the problems, genetic disorders, then that is fertilized ovum again implanted into a women's uterus. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಕಂಡು ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನುವಂಶೀಯ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಓವಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಎಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡಾಣುವನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಗರ್ಭದೊಳಗೆ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. Then references, only one book I have referred over here, that is Burke Laura E. Burke's Child Development, 6th and 7th edition. Then MCQs I have mentioned here, but I didn't mention the answers. Sorry, I am not going through this one now. So thank you for thank you for one and all for listening the sessions.